Aloha. So what you're hearing in the background is the sound of Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's not on my normal super fancy machine that's been in all my other videos. I kind of wanted to start a project that was more of a budget build. I wanted to have a system that I didn't mind if I kind of messed up, a system that I could test things out on and not have to worry about a metric buttload, real term, of cabling and craziness. So part of that was this system. The other part was I wanted to reuse pieces I had and show that you could build a budget gaming rig, especially a budget flight sim rig, under $1,000 that can run Microsoft Flight Simulator decently. So this first video is just going to be talking about the hardware, and the next video, which I'll shoot right after, we'll get into performance. So we'll start off with the processor, which happens to be right here. This is the Ryzen 5 5600G, has built-in graphics that I'm not using. This processor is packaged with an AMD CPU cooling fan, and it was $120 on Newegg. Fairly affordable, $120. And the Ryzen 5 5600 processors are pretty good. I've got a Ryzen 7 in my high-end system, and there's only a few percentage points of difference, but this was on sale. So when it's on sale, I go with it. Memory. Now, with any good PC, you want to get a decent amount of memory. This system can be a resource hog. When I say this system, I actually mean Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is a dual channel kit from geil, this guy here. DDR4, PC4, 25600, 3200 megahertz, otherwise known as 3.2 gigahertz. This was about $70. And here's my SSD. Now this is a 1 terabyte. I would recommend a 1 terabyte as a minimum if you get into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I installed this last night, and the minimum install was 120 gigabytes. So it's not a small bit of software, and this machine is kind of just dedicated to Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I really don't care how much space it takes up as long as I can contain it. But this guy here was about $68 to $70. 1 terabyte solid state drive. PNY is a name brand, so decent components thus far. This guy here is an old video card. I've had this video card sitting in my house for about a year and change, and there's no reason to leave it just sitting around. I was either going to sell it on eBay or I was going to use it. So I decided I'd try to use it with the system and see how well a middle-of-the-road video card works. Now, I looked this exact video card up today, and what I saw was prices anywhere from $200 to $240. So roughly I'll call it a $200 video card. Nothing super fancy, but let's see how it works in the next video. And last but not least, we have our motherboard. Now, I found this the same place I found these other components on Newegg, and it's pretty darn decent so far. B450 chipset, Wi-Fi built in. The reason I like that, it stops me from having to spend any additional money. So instead of having to buy any kind of dongle or anything crazy, I just pop on the antennas on the back of the motherboard and off I go. And the reason I'm moving these is to get them kind of out of your way. To show you the other low-end stuff, and I'll call it low-end for lack of a better term. I have a $140 monitor or so on here. I was looking these up today, and yes, indeed, this is an LG 27-inch wide. It's a decent monitor, not super great, but I've had that monitor for about 2 years, so I figured I'd just use it. Here, I have the Logitech throttle quadrant. Right now, you can find these on Logitech's website for $39. I found this on Amazon with free delivery for $33. 33 bucks. So that's kind of a bargain. Here I have an Extreme 3D Pro from Logitech. I bought this for $29.95 with free delivery on Amazon. The reason I like this joystick is I'm not going to say it's self-explanatory because it's really not, but I'll say there's multiple reasons. It's a better way to phrase it. So first off, this type of control can be found in a lot of small light aircraft. It can also be found on like Airbus. So if multiple aircraft you could fly, this gives you kind of the sense of, or the feel of what that aircraft would be. But second, I like it because of this. See that twist? If you are going to try to piecemeal a system, if you're building a budget system, this helps. And the reason I say that helps is it can stop you from having to spend $120 on rudder pedals right away. So I could use this for a month or two while I'm saving up the money for decent rudder pedals. I like that idea. Now, between this and throttle quadrant, they also bring in multiple buttons to add so you can map them in Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's some extra stuff that you obviously wouldn't need for a low-end gaming rig. You don't need this mount. I happen to have it. You don't need the panel here. I happen to have it. Now, one thing I always like to do as well, you'll see these tablets here. I'm running Air Manager software, and I'll get into Air Manager in the next video. But this whole system that I'm showing you, from the joystick to the throttle quadrant, to the monitor, to the computer, and the complete build of computer, $810. $810. Full system, $810. Now I do have a set of rudder pedals. They're Thrustmaster rudder pedals. They're the $130 rudder pedals. So my whole setup, $940. You can see I've got 2 tablets running. I don't count those in the price. Most people have tablets running or available at home. If you do, I recommend downloading Air Manager software, and I'm going to show you that in the next video. So the whole purpose of this video was just to throw out the specs on this system and to kind of say, yep, I think I can build a budget system. I haven't done much with it yet. I've only gone in to make sure controls work. So the developer mode up here is going to be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. We'll see how that frame rate goes. I'm going to set everything to medium, and maybe I bump it up after. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you watch the next one because it's going to be right after this one. Right after this one. And I hope this setup works decently. And if it does, you know, I hope it helps somebody out there to build an affordable system. So thanks for watching, and hopefully watch the next one. Thanks.